Hello everyone, welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. We're at camp and we've finished the first gathering of a main quest army, so things will start heating up in the story. Let's speak to everyone.
Ah,
I have some
it
questions.
doesn't have better things to do.
You watch that village day and night for years?
I do not sleep, so yes, and I thank it for reminding me. Try to imagine, if it will, what it would be like to be surrounded by nothing but boring peasants, all oblivious to it.
Yes, that would be rather hard.
And then there were the birds. A whole village full of pigeons and ravens and sparrows all perching on me day in and day out.
Sounds a little messy.
Those foolish villagers would spread birdseed near me, drawing the birds, because they thought having birds perch on me was quaint. Quaint! If there hadn't been the occasional kind soul to scour me clean, I don't care to discuss this anymore.
Okay. I have some gifts in my inventory, so we're gonna hand those out. Remarkable malachite can go to Shale.
Ooh, shiny.
The Rose of Orlais is a book. Appears to be a book about Lady Talia Leon and her tempestuous romance. Arrogant Chevalier, Garin. The Rose of Orlais.
A generous gift. Thank you ever so much.
Okay. Necklace for Morrigan.
I am grateful. 'Tis thoughtful indeed.
A white rune stone. Small, flat, white stone with a gold rune carved into it for Alistair.
I could get used to this, you know.
For Sten. Water-stained portrait. An antique portrait, slightly water-stained, of a man wearing furs and a heavy crown.
I am impressed. My thanks.
Notebook for Wynne.
A generous gift. Thank you ever so much.
Chantry amulet for Liliana.
That's a wonderful thought. I don't know what to say.
Oh, beef bone for the dog. Not that the dog needs any more. Oh, I can't actually... Oh, yeah, there we go. So, their approval is always going to be 100%. Okay. So we've given gifts. So you see, minor strength. Now we're getting some minor buffs to add to people's attacks. So Shale is not going to have much more to say.
I have a thought.
Oh, what's on your mind?
We have an opportunity that I believe we should take advantage of. To the point. My mother was once divested of a particular grimoire by a most annoying Templar hunter. It occurred long before I was born, but even today Flemeth speaks of the loss with great rage. With the circle of magi in such disarray, it occurs to me that this might be the perfect time to recover the tome from their possession, for surely it eventually ended up in their hands.
I think I already have the tome you're talking about.
What is this? The grimoire? Ever since we discovered the condition of the Major's tower, I had wondered if it might be recoverable, but I had yet to speak of it to you. How fortunate that you found it on your own. You have my
Right?
thanks. I will begin study of the tome immediately.
What do you hope to find within it?
Secrets. My mother has many of them, and this tome represents the one time that they were able to get away from her. I do not intend to squander this opportunity to learn more than Flemeth wished me to know. This should be interesting.
Okay, so she's happy about that. Okay, so if you look around her camp, you can see lots and lots of blood vials. I don't know why there's a pile of refuse right near the head of her bed, but okay. But you can, she's not a good lady.
Yes,
What were you doing in that cage?
sitting, as you observed.
That's not what I meant.
It's what you asked.
Are you going to answer my question?
I did. Parshera, was there anything else?
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Okay.
Very well.
Okay.
As you wish.
He won't talk to me.
Yes,
I have a question. Let me see.
I am hardly surprised.
Yeah, it won't let me.
Very
We'll see
well.
how it goes.
As you wish.
Okay. Liliana.
Have I ever told you I really like the way you wear your hair?
So this is romance options. In essence, several of the followers are bisexual. So Alistair will only have a romance with a woman, and Morgan will only have a romance with a man, but Liliana and some of the followers, one of the other followers that we haven't gotten yet, are bisexual. My hair, thank you.
It's very nice and it suits you. Simple. Not like the elaborate hairstyles we wore in Orlais. They involved flowers, ribbons, jewels. One year, feathers were all the rage, and Lady Elise decided she needed to outdo everyone else, and actually wore live songbirds in her voluminous hair. The chirping was quite charming for a while, but you must realize, terrified little birdies often have loose bowels.
Poor birds.
Yes, I don't envy them. She never washed her hair. But I was trying to say something nice to you, wasn't I? Oh, forgive me. My mind wanders so. It's just that I feel so comfortable talking to you, like I could say anything and you wouldn't judge me.
So, I am not exactly sure how to navigate. Sometimes you like stumble into romances without knowing it. So I'm just going to. So I think the romance furtherance would be, wouldn't I? Maybe I'll just keep it to myself. Aha. But, well, we are friends, aren't we? So I'm going to push on the friend pedal.
Yes, very much so. I haven't felt this close to anyone in a long time. I really enjoy your company.
And so, I could follow up and do you often enjoy the company of other women? But I am not going to be mean or shut her down. So I could say, I think you're getting the wrong idea, or, right, enough of that. Let's talk about my hair some more. But I'm going to say treasured friend. You're a treasured friend, Liliana.
Thank you. I am honored that you feel that way.
All right.
Oh, it's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
Are you all right?
Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
So all of these, there's a lot of ageist crap here. I love that she's included as a character, as an older woman, but they really, really stomp very hard on the ageist button. So none of these are good. No, you're a person. There's still some life in those old bones. It's a little hard to miss, or you're very sprightly for your age.
Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time, but there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done.
Hey, don't say those things. We still need you.
Oh, no. I'm not the sort of person that leaves things unfinished. I'll see this through, I promise.
So, there's a spot right here. We've pretty much got, well, no, there are 2 more followers to collect. One of them is not available as a romance option, and one that is a bisexual romance option.
At your service.
I have some questions.
Of course.
So I'm going to go through all of his commentary now, although many of the Grey Warden's things are repeatable, and I apologize if I'm doing them a second time. What can a Templar do exactly?
Essentially, they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you. They're an army. The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages. To that end, we train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells.
So couldn't others learn these talents? So this would be if you were of the warrior class, and you could ask him to train you to become a Templar. I am not, so I can't.
Perhaps, but there usually isn't much of an opportunity. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templars. We are given lyrium to help develop our magical talents, you see. Which means we become addicted. And since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together.
So you were addicted to this lyrium?
Thankfully, no. You only start receiving lyrium once you've taken your vows. You don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templars' talents more effective, or so I was told. Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception. Lucky me. At your service.
I have some questions.
Of course.
So yes, can you teach others to be a Templar? Will always be open in case you need to learn that. So I'll ask him. He'll have a bunch of stories to tell me about the Grey Wardens. Tell me about the Grey Wardens.
Such as they are.
Where are the nearest Grey Wardens from here?
That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais, but who knows where they might be found. And the nearest Orlesian city is weeks away. If we go north and cross the sea, there's bound to be some in the Free Marches. Again, however, I just don't know where. I don't know anything about Grey Wardens in other lands.
Is there a headquarters somewhere?
Here in Ferelden, there's our compound in Denerim at the palace, but that's it. Loghain will have control over that and be watching it, no doubt. Beyond that, the only place I know of is Weishaupt Fortress. That's the headquarters of all Grey Wardens in the Anderfells, 1,000 miles from here, but I've no idea how to even contact them. So unless we try to get back to the compound in Denerim, I suppose the answer is no. There's nowhere for us to go.
So Weishaupt is where we went in the Fade, where fake Duncan was? So what happens now that there's just 2 of us?
I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll send someone eventually. Though who knows what Loghain's people in Denerim will tell them. Maybe they won't send anyone. We could try to contact them. But that would mean leaving Ferelden, and even if we did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the Blight. So that means whatever happens, it's up to us.
Will we need to start rebuilding the Order?
I mean, Eventually we would have to use the joining to make more Grey Wardens, right? But I don't know how to do the joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic, and that it's really difficult to prepare, but that's it. Unless we can find out more about the joining, I guess we better get used to the idea that there might only be 2 of us for now. Until more come from elsewhere.
So I'm not going to ask what would happen if we just left, because he will not like that.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. At your service.
I'd like to discuss something private.
Well, we're in camp. Now's as good a time as any to talk, right?
So you can actually initiate romances with several characters, but there will become a choke point where they will all ask you to choose. So I'm going to only initiate a romance with Alistair. I need to tell you how much I enjoy your company.
You know, I was just thinking the same thing. Given the circumstances, things could have been so much worse. I'm so grateful that you're you, instead of some other Grey Warden. That sounded better in my head. I just mean to say that I can't imagine having done this without you.
I feel the same way.
Now we just need to be rid of that pesky archdemon, and everything will be back to normal, right?
Okay. So everyone's approval is slowly going up.
Look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
It's the thought that counts. He means well.
The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
You heard the lady.
I don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
I think you hurt his feelings.
Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
Okay.
Your dog is filthy. I can smell him 50 yards off.
I'm sure you're exaggerating.
That may be so, but all the same, I would like your permission to bathe him.
Bathe? Can't you just wave your staff and make him clean?
No, that's not what magic is used for. Just make him sleep over on the other side of the camp, with Alistair. With any luck, that will keep all the stench confined to one small area.
Okay. So we are going to brave Denerim. And I'm going to bring a specific group for a specific encounter, so I'm actually going to put the dog in party.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Denerim. This is a scripted cutscene.
I bring word, sire. There are demands from the Banorn that you step down from the Regency. They are said to be gathering their forces, as are your allies. It appears it will be civil war after all, despite the Darkspawn. Pity. I also have an interesting report. There seem to be Grey Wardens who survived Ostagar. How, I don't know, but they will act against you. I have arranged for a solution, with your leave.
The Antivan Crows send their regards. An assassin?
Against Grey Wardens, we will need the very best, sire.
And the most expensive.
Just get it done.
Zevran Aryani. That is the name of the assassin. The crows send their regards. Between the Tevinter Imperium, Rivain, and the Free Marches sits the nation of Antiva, although it possesses few resources of its own. Antiva's location makes it a center for trade in the north, and the capital, Antiva City, is the wealthiest in the world. Antiva has virtually no army. The monarchy is too weak to support one. Most Antivans would be hard-pressed even to name the current king, as the true power lies in the hands of a dozen merchant princes, each with a personal army, and each locked in constant struggle for power against all the others. Where armies may fail, a single blade will do. The House of Crows, the most efficient, most feared, and most expensive guild of assassins in the world, calls Antiva their home, and their reputation helps keep most of the nobles in Thedas in check. Okay. Dragon. Newly hatched dragons are roughly the size of a deer and voraciously hungry. They live for a short time in their mother's lair before venturing out on their own. The slender, wingless creatures are born in vast numbers, as only a few will ever make it to adulthood. Golem. Once a crucial part of Orzamar's defensive, golems have all but vanished as the secret to their manufacture was lost over 1,000 years ago. What few golems remain are guarded closely by the Shaperit, brought out when the battle with the Darkspawn grow desperate enough to risk their loss. No one now would sell a golem for any price, but in ancient times, dwarves sold many golems to the Magister Lords of Tevinter. They are devastating weapons in war. Living siege engines, capable of hurling boulders like a catapult or plowing through enemy lines like an earthquake. Ghoul. What the blight does not destroy, it corrupts. Any creature infected with the Darkspawn taint that does not have the good fortune to die outright becomes a ghoul, a twisted shadow of itself. The name originally comes from men, whether human, dwarven, or elven, who became tainted, usually while being held as a captive food source by the Darkspawn. They would turn cannibal, preying on other captives, slaves to the will of the archdemon, driven mad by pain. During a blight, the corruption of the Darkspawn spreads through the wilder areas of Thedas and infects the animals found there. This produces grotesque enraged bears called bearskarn, as well as blight wolves. Fortunately, ghouls rarely survive their corruption for long. Pride Demon. Let me explain what it is to face a pride demon, my friends. You may scoff and say that our talents exist only to face mages, but you will encounter demons often. They will be summoned by a maleficar and bound to do their bidding, and while at times they will be forced into the possession of a host, they will also face you in their true form. A powerful opponent indeed, do not underestimate it. Pride is powerful and intelligent. When we have encountered one in its true form, its most common attacks are bolts of fire and ice. Fire they will use to burn an opponent, and the magical flame will combust anything you wear regardless of make. Ice they will use to freeze an opponent in place. Be cautious, for they enjoy employing this against warriors in particular. More than one group of Templars has made the mistake of attempting to overwhelm a pride demon and suffer the consequences, believe me. And if you think that having the aid of other mages will assist you, you are wrong. Pride demons can render themselves immune to magic for short times, and are adept at dispelling magic that is cast upon you, as much as we Templars are able to disrupt spells. Think on that for a moment, my friends. Be wary of how prideful you become, lest you find too much in common with such a fiend. Transcript of a lecture given by Varen, Templar commander of Tantervale, 686 Steel. Revenant. An entire unit of men all slain by one creature. I didn't believe it at first, your perfection, but it appears that this is so. We have a survivor, and while at first I thought his rantings pure exaggeration, it appears to be no simple skeleton. The descriptions of the creature's abilities were eerily similar to those our brothers at Marnus Pell encountered almost a century ago. Men pulled through the air to skewer themselves on the creature's blade, an attack so quick that it was able to assault multiple opponents at once. No, your perfection, what we have here is indeed a revenant, and nothing less. From a letter to Divine Amara III, 571 Exalted. A revenant is a corpse possessed by a demon of pride or of desire, making it among the most powerful possessed opponents that one can face. Many possess spells, but most are armed and armored, and prefer the use of their martial talents. They're weak against physical attack, but regenerate quickly. They commonly use telekinesis to pull opponents into melee range, should they try to flee. Revenants also have the ability to strike multiple opponents surrounding them. Stay at range if possible and strike quickly. That is the only way to take such a creature down. Sloth demon. And I looked at the creature, and it had become me. A veritable copy of my form, of my very mind, stared back at me as if from within a mirror. I thought surely that this was a trick, an illusion meant to pull me off guard, but as I engaged the thing with my sword, it fought me with maneuvers that I recognized. It parried as I parried. It swung as I swung. It spoke to me and said things that only I could know. I think this demon of sloth has no form or identity of its own. It is envy as much as sloth, I believe, and mine was not the first shape it stole that day. An excerpt from a transcribed deposition of Tyrannus, Templar commander of Cumberland, 390 Towers. The most difficult assumption from someone who study demons to overcome. The most difficult assumption for some who study demons to overcome is the notion that a sloth demon is, in and of itself, slothful. If that were so, it seems highly unlikely that any such demon would cross the veil into our own world, or once here would fight to possess any creature with a will of its own. And we know both these things are not to be the case. Certainly some demons are lazy and complacent, but who knows? Perhaps these creatures even cultivate such a reputation. The truth is that demons of sloth are named so because this is the portion of the human psyche that they feed upon. Doubt, apathy, entropy. They seek to spread these things. The sloth demon hides in its forms, a master of shape and disguises, always in the last place you look, and from its hiding place it spreads its influence. A community afflicted by a demon of sloth could soon become a dilapidated pit where injustices are allowed to pass without comment, and none of the residents could be aware that such a change has even taken place. The sloth demon weakens, tires, tears at the edges of consciousness, and would much rather render its victim helpless than engage in a true conflict. Such creatures are best faced only with a great deal of will, and only with an eye to piercing their many disguises. Okay, so you see I've read everything. I have 24 out of 33, and now it's grayed out. The ones that are still flashing yellow, I have more to go. Okay, random encounter here. Well, this may not be so random. We'll see. Yeah, it's random.
Ah, a fellow traveller of the fair lands. Are you a seeker, perchance? My packs are light, but I have a tome of strange origin. The Deus V Eternus, rumoured to be the last message to a sinful world from the Maker himself.
Did you sell a few copies in the Circle Tower?
I have no idea what you're talking about, and neither do these large men carrying swords. Get them!
How dare you! Nobody fraudulently books in my world. How dare they fraudulently book? Okay, so this is why I have to put the dog in my actual party at times, because I can't raise up their skills otherwise. I think they have Mabari Warhorners. Yeah. Alright, they've got the best stuff. Okay. Go.
All men are the work of our Maker's hand.
Wait! Where are you going? Logan runs up to you happily. He appears to have found a friend.
Puppy!
Where's your mother and father?
Puppy!
No, you can't keep him.
Those who bring ham, and the Maker does not bread sinners.
Oh. That's one of my favorite encounters. Your dog wants a pet boy! Okay, Denerim is a main city. It doesn't make any sense to me that we're just able to wander around.
All men are the work of our Maker's hands, from the lowest slaves to the highest kings. Those who bring ham without provocation to the least of his children are breaded and accursed by the Maker.
Those who bring ham, and the Maker does not bread sinners.
Oh, would you stop correcting me? I know the chant like the back of my hand.
Okay, so there is a chantry board here. Back alley justice. Eliminate the criminals preying on innocent folk in Denerim's back alleys. In these dark times, we must work together against the common threat. Sergeant Kylon has brought disturbing news that should anger all righteous people. In our own alleyways, footpads, muggers, and miscreants lie in wait to profit from the chaos of our times. They infect us like a plague. A reward is available for any information on these lowlives. Sergeant Kylon has also offered a heavy purse for any brave souls that can best these brigands and make Denerim a safe place once again. This humble chanter has added it to the reward. This humble chanter has added to the reward as well. May the Maker bless all who heed this call. Missing in action. Recently our hearts were lifted when many survivors of the battle Ostagar returned to us. Maker bless those men and women, and have mercy on those who fell defending our children from the blight. Sadly, one of these heroes has gone missing. Rexel served in Terran Logain's vanguard with distinction. Upon his return, his wife said he was prone to quiet reflection and frequented the local taverns. One afternoon he left his house and never returned. This chanter was moved by the family's grief and is offering a pouch of coin for anyone who finds this hero. The chant says, "In saving one man, you save us all. For if each of us lends a hand to aid his neighbor, anything is possible, especially now." Fazl's request. Master Fazl of the esteemed Guild of Free Sailors has informed this chanter that while about guild business he was waylaid by bandits via guile and other chicanery. He lost many valuables, but in particular an antique sextant was removed forcibly from his person. This sextant is of considerable symbolic value, as it belonged to the first guildmaster of the Free Sailors. Master Fazl described his assailant as masked, of foreign descent, perhaps Tevinter or Free Marches, and unusually coordinated and crafty. He has placed a hefty sum of coin with this chanter for the return of the sextant. That is all. Logain's push. Brothers and sisters, word has arrived of an imminent conflict. Terran Logain's honored forces continue to root out threats to our nation, and their actions deserve support from the common people. While it is unusual to post troop movements to the public board, I believe it is necessary for brethren near the affected area to repel the honored Terran by aiding his troops. Provide whatever comfort you feel they deserve, and Ferelden will be the stronger for it. Treat these brave soldiers as you would treat Logain himself, and the spiritual rewards will be generous. Caravan down. Sister Geisel's posts. Unfortunate news has arrived that the Darkspawn have extended their incursion into areas previously thought safe for travel. A runner from a border caravan brings word that they unknowingly passed into infested territory and were being tracked by several unseen creatures. He was dispatched to seek help, and does not know the fate of his fellows or the viability of the trade route. Travelers in the area are urged to be cautious. Any with the ability to rescue or determine the status of the troubled group will be rewarded. Desperate Haven. Sister Rana has heard reports of an imminent tragedy. A runner has brought me dire news of a group of refugees fleeing the Darkspawn. They've been cornered in unfamiliar ground, fighting for their lives. The Templars are necessarily occupied, and my own means are few and stretched. If someone of skill has the ability to deliver these people, I can only offer the honest gratitude of myself and of the Chantry. Hopefully that will be enough for the rare person we need. Brothers and sons, Darkspawn incursions in the south have made for difficult communications, even through official means. The relatives of the conscripts of Company East Hill have beseeched me to deliver word of their brothers and sons. I have no means to do so, but can point a traveller of stout heart in the proper direction of their recent engagement, to any who are able to find their loved ones. I offer what little silver they have been able to entrust to the board, as well as the sincerest gratitude of the Chantry. Unintended consequences. Something is stalking the wilds, killing the good merchants who support our towns in these difficult times. One would assume that this is the reason the Chantry employs the use of the Templars, but they are unmindful of a simple brother's plea. I understand they have the Darkspawn and the constant threat of uncontrolled magic to contend with, but are they not meant to protect the common people? Whatever the source of this thing, whatever unconscionable force has unleashed it, someone must make the roads safe again. All we know is that it's not an animal, bandit, or Darkspawn. If anyone will stand, I will provide my own wealth as compensation. While the reports I've heard no doubt suffer from exaggeration, the observed creatures assaulting Red Cliff trouble me greatly. Oh, wait, a runner sent this request from Knight Commander Thames. While the reports I have heard no doubt suffer from exaggeration, the observed creatures assaulting Red Cliff trouble me greatly. If we are to properly combat these unnatural agents and prevent the reoccurrence, the mages bound to my service will require careful preparation samples flesh. The mages bound to my service will require carefully prepared samples of flesh for study. Thereafter, should a deployment occur, we will be briefed. If there are skilled warriors present, I would have them gather samples from any remaining creatures as close to the presumed source as possible. The Chantry will reward this basic assistance with spiritual acknowledgment. If the request is exceeded, gold will be added, but the offer is limited.
In the name of Andraste, Bride of the Maker, be welcome in this house. While the cathedral is closed, if you need to make wedding or funeral arrangements, you'll have to talk to Sister Olma.
Did someone die? I remember a funeral.
King Kalen died, remember? Along with most of the army at Ostagar? Maker guide them all.
Why is the cathedral closed?
That which you fear, living in the shadow of death alone, I have seen it is only a cloud passing before the sun.
The death toll at Ostagar was staggering. We've had a funeral every day for a lost son or daughter of Denerim, and we've many more yet to hold.
What's wrong with your friend?
Are they singing the chant now? It's a funeral, isn't it?
He should have retired to Valroyo years ago, but he wanted to stay and serve the remainder of his days in his homeland. It's the lyrium that does this.
Lyrium did this to him? Why doesn't he stop taking it?
He wouldn't be a Templar anymore.
Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked, and do not falter.
He doesn't forget who he is, even if he can't remember anything else.
I'll come back later.
May the light of the Maker guide your steps.
Templars, often portrayed as stoic and grim, the Order of Templars was created as a martial arm of the Chantry. Armed with the ability to dispel and resist magic in addition to their formidable combat talents, Templars are uniquely qualified to act as both a foil for apostates, mages who refuse to submit to the authority of the Circle, and a first line of defense against the dark powers of blood mages and abominations. While mages often resent the Templars as symbols of the Chantry's control over magic, the people of Theras see them as saviors and holy warriors, champions of all that is good, armed with piety enough to protect the world from the ravages of foul magic. In reality, the Chantry's militant arm looks first for skilled warriors, and unshakable faith in the Maker, with a flawless moral center as the secondary concern. Templars must carry out the duty with an emotional distance, and the Order of Templars prefers soldiers with religious fervor and absolute loyalty over paragons of virtue who might question orders when it comes time to make difficult choices. Templars' power derives from the substance lyrium, a mineral believed to be the raw element of creation. While mages use lyrium in their arcane spells and rituals, Templars ingest the primordial mineral to enhance their abilities to resist and dispel magic. Lyrium use is regulated by the Chantry, but some Templars suffer from lyrium addiction, the effects of which include paranoia, obsession, and dementia. Templars knowingly submit themselves to this treatment in the service of the Order and the Maker. It is this sense of ruthless piety that most frightens mages when they draw the Templars' attention. When the Templars are sent to eliminate a possible blood mage, there is no reasoning with them, and if the Templar are prepared, the mage's magic is all but useless. Driven by their faith, the Templars are one of the most feared and respected forces in Theros. From Patterns Within Form by Halden, First Enchanter of Starkhaven, 880 Blessed.
Strange that matters can be so tumultuous and yet the day still be so bright. Oh, my pardon, just thinking aloud. Are you here for the Chanter's Board?
What do you do here?
I am Sister Justine, curator of the reliquary of this chantry. And pride again. It is hard to live up to the example of Andraste.
What does a curator do?
The archivist tends the books, and I tend the sacred relics. I also search for more to add to our collection, which is more difficult than it sounds.
There's still relics to be found after all these years?
My thought exactly, but I'm perpetually amazed at how quickly people accept fantastic claims at face value. A hawker on the street will claim to have an actual finger bone of Andraste. In this city alone, you could make the skeleton of 10 prophets from fingers alone. Curators often accept them as genuine. I worry about the authenticity of even our most holy artifacts.
How difficult is it to verify a relic?
When I was a curator of a much smaller chantry in Orlais, I thought that false relics slipped through because of laziness. But the life of the cloth is never an easy one, and that explanation always seemed hollow to me. Now I believe it's the seduction of the divine. We all want a personal connection to the Maker. We want to believe that what we hold in our hands is the actual sandal that slipped from Andraste's foot before the fires consumed her. Faith is of the heart, not of the head. When the heart is ungoverned by reason, charlatans have powerful tools to deceive.
Balancing faith and reason is difficult, though.
And often close to heretical. But I believe that the truth only increases the awe of the Maker and his prophet, not demean it. Even false symbols have the power to inspire, but it seems every year we fall more out of touch with the real Andraste.
Do you think the Urn of Sacred Ashes is real?
Certainly. My research indicates that all of the ashes were gathered into a pot or urn, but it's been lost for centuries. That doesn't stop hawkers from selling pinches of the ashes of Andraste to gullible pilgrims. The real ashes may still be hidden somewhere, though it's possible the urn broke. Of course, enjoy your visit to the chantry.
All men are the work of our Maker's hands, from the lowest slaves to the highest kings. Those who bring ham without provocation to the least.
Okay, here is the Mages Collective.
The Mages Collective thanks you. Makers smile upon you.
Okay. More collective. Blood of warning. While they tend to be careful and judicious in their use of force, the Templars do indeed make mistakes. I understand that several relatives of our friends among the collective will soon be targets of the chantry, and while I trust that this will not lead to lasting harm for those innocents, I wish to ensure that those targeted are fairly warned and evacuated before the chantry can send its message. I ask that a noble soul take the bundle of vials attached to this missive and find the 4 homes the chantry is likely to target in Denerim. Mark the front door of each home with the goat's blood from the vials. Those relatives will understand the message and evacuate before the Chantry can threaten them. Collective is saddened in the absence of the great mage Reynold. Our friend has not been seen in quite some time, and our gatherings are the lesser for the loss of his tales of ribble exploits and the aroma of his delicious twice-baked meat pies. Reynold was last seen traveling in the direction of the Brazilian forest. Oh, how he did so love the outdoors. Anyone who returns with evidence of the whereabouts of our beloved mage Reynold will be rewarded. Scrolls of Banastor. At times such as these one must suspect even his neighbor of the darkest dealings, lest they cast a shadow upon those who labor under the light. I, Jubasto, have heard of a cabal of Maleficarum performing rituals in the dark near my sanctum, and I certainly wish to see them brought to justice for their dark deeds. I hesitate, however, to accuse them of foul sorcery, without a full understanding of the trappings, rituals, and appearance the dark magic requires. The writings of the hated Maleficarum Banastor should be suitable. Should a courier be available to procure me copies of the Scrolls of Banastor, I would be appropriately grateful.
Good to see you again.
I have a few Scrolls of Banastor, but clearly not a ton.
It is begun.
Leave me to my business.
Okay. Sergeant Pylon.
You here to report another crime? I swear we should just cordon off the entire district. Oh, can I help you, Warden?
Is the Market District really that bad?
The lower market isn't deemed important by the captain of the guard, even less with Al Howe in charge. So when I finally get the new men I request, I get the delightful surprise of discovering their Lord Such-and-Such's illegitimate, untrained, moronic whelps. But lords keep sending me more of them. It's decent pay, no expectations, a uniform. So I have a legion of bastards to protect the market from pickpockets, stabbings, and whatnot, and Al Howe's specially picked men are the worst of the lot.
The Jarl and I have a rich history. Tell me about his men.
With the bastards, I just have to worry about dicing, the odd bit of drool, or yelling at them too loudly and hurting their poor feelings, and then getting chewed out by their noble fathers. But I swear, the Arl's men are more criminal than the miscreants we occasionally arrest. Some of them are the criminals we have to arrest. So if your lifeblood isn't draining in the gutters as we speak, don't bother reporting it.
Actually, do you need any help?
What? You're serious? I mean, yes, I could use help. I've got a pretty popular establishment that's crawling with mercenaries. If I send my boys in, someone might get, maker forbid, hurt, and I'll have to explain to their noble fathers that being a guard is actually dangerous.
What do you need me to do?
The name of the whorehouse is the Pearl. Beat down any mercenaries that are out of line and send them a message. I said beat down, not kill. Let me make that really clear. Not on fire, or exploded, or make a nose, whatever type of grisly death you can dream up. Sorry. Used to giving orders to my boys. Just leave them breathing and I'll be happy.
Sign me up, Sergeant.
Thank you, Warden. Happy hunting.
Well, that actually sounds like the voice actor who does Sten.
I once had my portrait painted by an artist in the square here. It wasn't very good.
Wade's Emporium. Wade, my dear.
Welcome, friends. Welcome to Wade's Emporium. We have the finest armors in Denerim, maybe in all of Ferelden. How may we assist you?
Tell me about Wade.
You're obviously not from around here. Wade is possibly the most brilliant armorsmith in all of Ferelden.
That's not true, Herin. The dwarves of Orzammar make the finest armors around. These piles of rust droppings you force me to make are worthless compared to their work. You never let me have the time, the materials to make something special.
Customers expect their armor in a timely fashion, not years late like the last time.
That happened once, just once, and you never let it drop.
Who's in charge here?
I am.
Wade owns the Emporium, but without expert assistance and, well, prodding, Let's just say the Emporium has improved substantially with our partnership.
But I do miss the good old days. I could really take my time to make quality.
Oh, by all means, you can return to them. And to the gruel you used to fancy.
No. Sorry, Hirin.
See what you have for sale.
Certainly.
Okay, so they sell and make good armor. Right now, we don't have any special materials, but we can come back once we do.
Hirin, the bloody customers are bothering me again. What do I pay you for, anyhow?
Sorry. Wade is a genius. Truly, you will be astonished by his work. But he doesn't deal with customers. If you need anything, please ask me.
And tell her I don't want her looking over my shoulders making doe eyes at me either. I'm thinking, blast it all.
Truly sorry, sire.
Another character that was once bald that actually did better as bald.
Just how Spartan the bar is supposed to be.
Good day. The market is busy, is it not? Come, rest here. I have the finest selection of flowers and Orlesian-scented oils in all of Denerim. For you, perhaps? The oils are very relaxing in baths, no?
What's there to see in the market?
Much of the city is still a mystery to me, but the markets is like my home. Circle and sorcered objects can be found in the wonders of Thedas, in the alleyway north. The armorer, Wade, and his emporium are just to the south. If you need work, outside the rectory to the southeast is a chanter's board. And if your thirst is strong, head to the Nord Noble Tavern north of here. Be prepared, though. They do put on many airs.
Door of a blood meat is relative, so we mark it with goat's blood. Because of course we do.
Turn your attention elsewhere. My business does not concern you. Thank you and farewell.
Okay. We'll talk to them later. This is one of the apprentices that we need to inform that he is no longer employed.
What is it? I have work to do.
I have a note here from your master.
What does it say? I knew this would happen. Just when I was starting to get good. Well, thanks, I guess.
It is begun. It shall be done.
I recognize you. From Ostagar. Andraste's blood. You're a Grey Warden. Duncan's apprentice. You killed my friend. And good King Kalen. I demand satisfaction, sir.
Lower your voice or I'll silence it permanently.
I have heard of the Grey Warden's prowess, and you seem more capable than you did at Ostagar. I won't throw my life away. Too many people depend on me, and I doubt guards would pose any challenge to you. But by word and deed here you condemn yourself, sir.
Okay, I think you can, yeah, you can intimidate. There's more you could do there, but that's really more in her character. Okay. This, I believe, is part of... Yeah, Master Ignacio.
Another visitor in my store. Enjoy browsing my wares.
What sort of goods do you have?
My cousin and I have trade connections all along the seaways. We have furniture, silks, carvings, and much more. Caesar handles the trade stock. I handle other affairs.
Do you need any help?
No. Not yet. Perhaps one day. Luck be to you, Warden.
If you have coin, welcome to our shop. If not, move along. Too many refugees blocking customers.
Have anything for sale?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, lots of components, some gifts. Generic gifts that you can give to anybody. Don't need them. Okay. That's... okay. Oh, here you are, baby.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar. You won't find better.
So this is Gorham, voiced by Steve Bloom, who does tons of work. He is part of the Dwarven origin. All of the origins are worth doing multiple times.
Welcome, welcome. We sell only the strongest dwarven steel, folded over 100 times in the forges of Orzammar. In times like this, surely your group could use some extra protection on the road.
So when I mean multiple times, what I mean is you can usually take a good path and an evil path, or a, choose your adventure path, and all the writing is amazing. I'd rather buy information if you've got any to sell.
I'll answer what I can, but my policy is not to sell things that don't belong to me.
What's happening in the city right now?
The lands meet's the big news. Every dusty noble estate in Denerim is airing its sheets, waiting for the Lord to ride into town.
Who are some important people in Denerim?
It's the capital of Ferelden, so naturally the Queen and Regent are at the top. But the man who seems to be running the city guard is the new Arl Rendon Howe. Came in from somewhere up north.
Let me see what's in your store right now.
Every piece comes with a stamp of assurance from my wife's father, the best smith in Denerim.
Okay. So I could buy the Berserker Manual, Anger Management, Reaching a New Level of Slaughter, a tome with a thorough analysis of the Berserker's combat style. So that's a DPS warrior. I could give it to Sten at this point, and I believe he's already a Berserker. Okay. Door of a Blood Mage's relative.
I shall do it. They say the Mabari is clever enough to speak and wise enough to know not to. Tell me, my friend, does this saying apply to you? Are you capable of speech and simply choose not to speak?
He wags his tail.
Good day.
Okay, so some of this content will become
Sometimes
available later. Some
feel
I'm
much
not going to
friendlier
do
place
just
if we
yet
could
for
learn
story
something
reasons.
Nothing in the animal kingdom can
We
match
went
the worst
to
of
Wade.
humanity.
Courier thing I don't think we can pick up until we get to Redcliffe.
Thank the Maker my brother and his family made it out of Lothering. He said that the Darkspawn attacked it the very next day.
The Darkspawn took Lothering, did they?
I dunno. I expect so, since there was no one there to stop them.
Well, it won't be much longer until those monsters get here. There doesn't seem to be anyone fighting them now.
Grey Warden poster. Don't believe the lies. Friends of the Grey Wardens assemble. The hidden pearl holds the key to resistance. The griffins will rise again. So that's the alienage.
By order of the new Earl of Denerim, no one is to enter the alienage.
Harlhow wants to keep people out, does he?
There's been an elven uprising. Knife-ears even have the gall to attack the Earl's only son. Killed him in cold blood. With the whole Urian family dead, the regent appointed Rendon Howe of Amaranthine the new Earl of Denerim. First thing he did was lead a purge of the alienage. It's a mess in there. When things are put back in order, the gates will be reopened. Now on your way.
So If you play as an elf, you have 3 origin options. You can begin in the Mages Guild. You can begin as a city elf, which would tie into this story, why an Arl's son was killed. And you can also begin as one of the Dalish, one of the wild elves. Okay. Genetivi's home. So this is Brother Genetivi, who shows up in many of the codex entries, does a huge amount of writing. The History of the Chantry, Chapter 3. It said that at the Battle of Valerian Fields, Maferath stood and looked out over his armies. He had conquered the southern reaches of the greatest empire the world had ever known, and built splintered barbarian clans into a force to be feared. Pride in his heart, he turned to congratulate his men, and found that they had turned from him. Maferath fell to the evil of jealousy. After all that he had done, his wife was the one to receive all the glory. His wife was Andraste. He saw his wife's power and influence, and tired of his place as second husband below the Maker. His heart swelled with fury. If he had conquered just to have his wife wrested from him by a forgotten god and a legion of faith-hungry rabble, then perhaps this war was not worth the trouble. Here, history and the Chant of Light come apart. History tells us that Maferath looked north into the Central Imperium and saw nothing but more war against a rapidly regrouping army, and he despaired. The Chant of Light holds that Maferath chafed with jealousy of the Maker and jealousy of the glory that Andraste received, although it was he who led the armies. Maferath traveled to the imperial capital of Minrathous to speak with the Archon Hessarian. There he offered up his wife to the Imperium in return for a truce that would end hostilities once and for all. The Archon, eager to put down the voice of the prophet that stirred his own people against him, agreed. Maferath led Andraste into an ambush where she was captured by Imperial agents, putting an end to her exalted march. Crowds of loyalists stood in the central square of Minrathous to watch Andraste's execution. By command of the Archon, she was burned at the stake in what the Imperium believed to be the most painful punishment imaginable. According to the Chantry, however, Andraste was instead purified and made whole by the flames, ascending to life at her Maker's side. By all accounts, there was only silence when they expected screams. At the sight of the prophet burning, the crowds were filled with a profound guilt, as if they had participated in a great blasphemy. So moving was the moment that the Archon himself drew his sword and thrust it into the prophet's heart, ending her torment and leaving those assembled to consider the weight of what they had done. Whereas the execution of Andraste was meant to be a symbol of defeat for the faith of the Maker, in truth it all but sealed the fate of the worship of the old gods and paved the way for the spread of the Maker's chant. From Tales of the Destruction of Thedas by Brother Genetivi, Chantry Scholar.
Yes? What are you doing here?
Who are you?
My name is Waylan. I am the assistant of the scholar Brother Genetivi. This is his house.
Who is Brother Genetivi?
He is an eminent scholar and researcher who serves the Great Chantry. When you first came in, I was hoping that you had news of Brother Genetivi. Wishful thinking, it seems.
News? What news are you waiting for?
I haven't seen Brother Genetivi in weeks. He said no word. It's so unlike him. Genetivi was on the trail of the urn of sacred ashes. I fear he has gotten too close to the truth.
Do you think he's in trouble because of the urn?
Perhaps the urn has been lost for a reason. I pray for Genetivi's safety, but hope dwindles with each passing day. I tried to send help, but some knights came from Redcliffe looking for him not long ago. I sent them after Genetivi, and they too have disappeared.
How do you know they disappeared? This is a cunning response.
Well, they haven't returned, and they sent no word either.
Are you so close to the knights? Why send you word?
I don't know. After what happened to Genetivi, can you blame me for thinking the same thing could happen to the knights? Perhaps I am just a pessimist. I hope I am wrong.
So where did they go?
No, don't ask me where they went. You'll go after them. And what if ill luck should befall you too? This search is a curse on all of us. Some things are not meant to be found. I know that now.
I'm willing to risk it. Tell me where he went.
So be it. All he said before he left was that he would be staying at an inn near Lake Calenhard, investigating something in that area.
What exactly was he investigating?
I don't know. All I discovered from going through his research was that he was staying at the inn.
But you just said that he spoke to you and told you that. So again, this is cunning. If your cunning is very high, then there are certain places where you're able to figure things out without having to go through all of the steps.
Yes, of course he told me, but I also went through his things to see if I could find other clues to his whereabouts.
You sound nervous. Hiding something?
That's not true. I told you everything I know. Brother Genitivi told me about the inn, and that's all.
Us? Who's us?
Us? I mean me. There is no us. Bah! Why do I keep up this charade? I gave you a chance to turn aside and forget you ever heard of Genitivi and the urn, but you persisted. Now it has come to this. Andraste, forgive me, I do this in your name.
Quickly, we must fight!
Grandmothers.
I shall do it.
Dragon cults. Let us suggest for the moment that a high dragon is simply an animal. A cunning animal, to be sure, but in possession of no true self-awareness or sentience. There has not, after all, been a single recorded case of a dragon attempting to communicate or performing any act that could not likewise be attributed to a clever beast. How then does one explain the existence of so-called dragon cults throughout history? One dragon cult might be explainable, especially in light of the reverence of the old gods in the ancient Tevinter Imperium. In the wake of the First Blight, many desperate imperial citizens turned to the worship of real dragons to replace the old gods who had failed them. Dragon, after all, was a god figure that they could see. It was there, as real as the archdemon itself, and, as evidence makes clear, did offer a degree of protection to its cultists. Other dragon cults could be explained in light of the first. Some cult members might have survived and spread the word. The worship of the old gods was as widespread as the Imperium itself. Certainly such secrets could have made their way into many hands. But there have been reports of dragon cults even in places where the Imperium never touched, among folks who had never heard of the old gods or had any reason to. How does one explain them? Members of a dragon cult live in the same lair as a high dragon, nurturing and protecting its defenseless young. In exchange, the high dragon seems to permit those cultists to kill a small number of those young in order to feast on draconic blood. That blood is said to have had a number of strange long-term effects, including bestowing greater strength and endurance, as well as an increased desire to kill. It may breed insanity as well. Navaran dragon hunters have said these cultists are incredibly powerful opponents. The changes in the cultists are a form of blood magic, surely, but how did the symbiotic relationship between the cult and the high dragon form in the first place? How did the cultists know to drink the dragon's blood? How did the high dragon convince them to care for its young, or know that they would? Is there more to draconic intelligence than we have heretofore guessed at? No member of a dragon cult has ever been taken alive, and what accounts exist from the days of the Navaran hunters record only mad rants and impossible tales of godhood, with dragons only recently reappearing and still incredibly rare. We may never know the truth, but the question remains. From Flame and Scale by Brother Florian, Chantry Scholar, 928 Dragon. Chantry Hierarchy. The divine is the titular head of the chantry, although since the schism split the imperial chantry into its own faction, there are now in fact two divines at any one time. One divine, informally called the White Divine, is a woman housed in the Grand Cathedral in Val Royeaux. The other, known as the Black Divine, is a man housed in the Argent Spire in Minrathous. Neither divine recognizes the existence of the other, and the informal names are considered sacrilegious. No matter the gender, a divine is dressed as most holy, or your perfection. Beneath the rank of divine is the Grand Cleric. Each Grand Cleric presides over numerous chantries, and represents the highest religious authority for their region. They travel to Val Royeaux when the College of Clerics convenes, but otherwise remain where they are assigned. All Grand Clerics are dressed as Your Grace. Beneath the Grand Cleric is a mother, or in the Imperial Chantry, the Father. If a mother is in charge of a particular chantry, revered is appended to her title. These are the priests responsible for administering to the spiritual well-being of their flock. A mother or revered mother is addressed as Your Reverence. Brothers and sisters form the rank and file of the chantry, and consist of three main groups: affirmed, initiates, and clerics. Affirmed are the lay brethren of the chantry, those regular folk who have turned to the chantry for succor. Often they are people who have led a difficult or irreligious life, and have chosen to go into seclusion, or even orphans and similar unfortunates who are raised into the chantry life. The affirmed take care of the chantry, and are in turn afforded a life of quiet contemplation, no questions asked. Only those folk who take vows become initiates. These are men and women in training, whether in academic knowledge or the martial skills of a warrior. All initiates receive an academic education, although only those who seek to become Templars learn how to fight in addition. Clerics are the true academics of the chantry, those men and women who have dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge. They are often found in chantry archives, sages presiding over libraries of books and arcane knowledge. The most senior of these clerics, placed in charge of such archives, are given the title Elder, although such a rank is still beneath that of Mother. All other brothers and sisters are addressed simply by noting their title before their names, such as Brother Genitivi. From a guide for ambassadors from Rivain. So this, the writer clearly chose pretty much straight up allegory and reference. So Orlais is France, Ferelden is England, the crows, that's Spanish culture. So some of it is very transparently borrowing from exactly something else. The Maker is the Christian God, and Droste is Christian Jesus. So it is becomes pretty clear. Corpse.
As
the
you
body
say.
of the real Wayland. Jenna TV's research. I think that's just a plot item. I don't think we can read it. Amidst ramblings about local legends and ancient trade routes, one passage stands out. The village of Haven in the Frostbacks seems a good place to start. Pity it's not on any maps. Okay.
Hey, the wonders of Thedas. Arleman once bought me a miniature Gollum doll here, when I was young. Really young.
Wonders of Theta, so it's sort of a running joke that Alistair collects, action figures.
Yes, make it quick.
I have a note here from your master.
Strange. Let's see this. I knew it. I gave that man the best 7 weeks of my life. Well, I guess he won't have me to push around anymore. Ha!
On the continent of Thedas. Thedas is bounded to the east by the Amaranthine Ocean, to the west by Tirashan Forest and the Hunterhorn Mountains, to the south by the snowy wastes that lie beyond the Orkney Mountains, to the north by Donark Forest. The word Thedas is Tevinter in origin, originally used to refer to lands that bordered the Imperium. As the Imperium lost its stranglehold on conquered nations, more and more lands became Thedas, until finally people applied the name to the entire continent. The northern part of Thedas is divided amongst the Anderfels, the Tevinter Imperium, Antiva, and Rivain, with the islands held by the Kunari just off the coast. Central Thedas consists of the Free Marches, Navarra, and Orlais, with Ferelden to the south. What lies beyond the snowy wastes is a mystery. The freezing temperatures and barren land have kept even the most intrepid cartographers at bay. Similarly, the western reaches of the Anderfels have never been fully explored, even by the Anders themselves. We do not know if the dry steppes are shadowed by mountains, or if they extend all the way to the nameless seas. There must be other lands, continents, or islands, perhaps across the Amaranthine or north of Parvalen, for the Kunari arrived in Thedas from somewhere. But beyond that deduction, we know nothing. Parvalen is Kunari. That is, I believe, a unique culture that was created. It wasn't really drawn from any other culture that, or, with a language. It is incredibly caste-based. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genetivi.
Where do you think they get all this stuff? You think they, have any miniature golem dolls?
The History of the Chantry, Chapter 4. Crowds present at the death of Andraste were right to feel despair. It is believed that the prophet's execution angered the Maker, and he turned his back on humanity once more, leaving the people of Thedas to suffer in the dark. In these dark times, mankind scrambled for light, any light. Some found comfort in demonic cults that promised power and riches in return for worship. Others prayed to the old gods for forgiveness, begging the great dragons to return to the world. Still others fell so low as to worship the darkspawn, forming vile cults dedicated to the exaltation of evil in its purest form. It is said that the world wept as its people begged for a savior who would not come. Andraste's followers, however, did not abandon her teachings when she died. The cult of Andraste rescued her sacred ashes from the courtyard in Menrathos after her execution, stealing them away to a secret temple. The location of that temple has long been lost, but the ashes of Andraste served as a symbol of the enduring nature of the faith of the Maker, that humanity could earn the Maker's forgiveness despite its grievous insult to him. With time, the cult of Andraste spread and grew, and the chant of light took form. Sing this chant in the four corners of Thedas, it was said, and the world will gain the Maker's attention at last. As the chant of light spread, the cult of Andraste became known as the Andrastian Chantry. Those who converted to the Chantry's beliefs found it their mission to spread Andraste's word. There were many converts, including powerful people in the Imperium and in the city-states of what is now Orlais. Such was the power of the Maker's word that the young King Dracon undertook a series of exalted marches meant to unite the city-states and create an empire solely dedicated to the Maker's will. The Orlesian Empire became the seat of the Chantry's power, the great cathedral in Val Royeaux, the source of the movement that birthed the organized Chantry as we know it today. Dracon, by then Emperor Dracon I, created the Circle of Magi, the Order of Templars, and the Holy Office of the Divine. Many within the Chantry revere him nearly as equal with Andraste herself. The modern Chantry is a thing of faith and beauty, but it is also a house of necessity, protecting Thedas from powerful forces that would do it harm. Where the Grey Wardens protect the world from the Blights, the Chantry protects mankind from itself. Most of all, the Chantry works to earn the Maker's forgiveness, so that one day he will return and transform the world into the paradise it was always meant to be. From Tales of the Destruction of Thedas by Brother Genitivi, Chantry Scholar.
As you say.
On the prison of Aenar. When the Imperium occupied the land that is present-day Ferelden, they had two sites dedicated to magical experimentation at the extreme ends of the Imperial Highway. The southern one was the fortress of Ostagar, which looked out over the Kokari wilds. The northern one was Aenar, although the exact location is now a secret known only to a handful of Templars. Whatever it was that Tevinter was trying to discover at Aenar, their work was never completed. The fortress was overrun by disciples of Andraste upon hearing the news of her death. According to legend, it was a massacre, eerily silent, for the invaders caught the mages while all but one of them were in the Fade. The site was left structurally sound but spiritually damaged. Possibly because of this, the Chantry chose to use it as a prison. Accused Maleficarum and apostates were held in the confines of Aenar. Those who have a powerful connection to the Fade, and particularly to demons, will inevitably attract something across the veil, making the guilty somewhat easier to tell from the innocent. From Of Fires, Circles, and Templars. A History of Magic in the Chantry by Sister Patrine, Chantry Scholar. On the city of Denerim. When anyone in Ferelden speaks of going to the city, they inevitably mean Denerim. There is no other place in the kingdom which rivals it, not in size, population, wealth, or importance. It is the seat of the Theron family, capital of Ferelden, the largest seaport, and by ancient tradition the meeting place of the Landsmeet. As well, Denerim was the birthplace of Andraste. One of them, however, as several other sites, claim to have been the prophet's early home, including Jader and Orlais. The Chantry takes no stance on which site claimed is valid, but it's well known that Andraste was Ferelden by birth. When visiting the pilgrimage sites in Denerim, it is inadvisable to mention Jader at all. The city rests at the foot of the Dragon's Peak, a solitary mountain scarred by ancient lava flows. During Andraste's lifetime, it reputedly filled the sky with a great column of black ash, and sent burning rock raining down as far away as the Free Marches. But it's now considered extinct. Some believe it merely sleeps and will again darken the sky with ash and fire when the last Ferelden king dies, but this is highly unlikely. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar, by Brother Genitivi. It's just a cauldron with bones. Okay. A lot of this is modded, and it looks very cool, so I'm happy to be going around and seeing the little bits and pieces taken from other games and put in here. You see one of the circle's enchanters? Oh, she can do enchanting. Okay, she's modded. Oh, that's nice. Okay, that's cool.
Welcome to the wonders of Thedas. We carry items crafted by the Circle, as well as a variety of antiquities. Is there anything you would like to see?
Okay, so he does, in fact, carry So, yeah, Tome of Arcane Technique, I could get an extra spell. Oh, wow. Ring of Ages, Band of Fire. These are all very expensive for me. Nice runes. Remarkable Garnet I can get for sale. Ancient Map of the Imperium, which I'm not getting. And Spirit Healer Manual, which is Wynn's specialty. Could use that if I were a mage. Huh. No, I don't see a gift. Reaper's Vestments. Almost 100 gold. Yeah, that's a lot. Okay. Okay, I realized a little bit back why Sten wasn't speaking to me of something. Sometimes characters need to have certain encounters or go to certain places. So, since I have not taken him to a certain place, he's not really going to speak. So I will need to do that. Next time we're in camp, take a little... Okay. Take a little trip.
I shall do it.
Okay, weird. He's still there. It's not, that encounter is not terribly important. Okay, so, I think we've done a lot of the exploration. Let's go into the Nod Noble and not kill people. Politics of Ferelden. To our neighbors, Ferelden seems utterly chaotic. Unlike other monarchies, power does not descend from our throne. Rather, it rises from the support of the freeholders. Each freehold chooses the ban or Arl to whom it pays allegiance. Typically, this choice is based on proximity of the freehold to the lord's castle, as it's worthless to pay for the upkeep of soldiers who will arrive at your land too late to defend it. For the most part, each generation of freeholders casts its lot with the same ban as their fathers did, but things can and do change. No formal oaths are sworn, and it's not unheard of, especially in the prickly central Banorn, for bands to court freeholders away from their neighbors, a practice which inevitably begets feuds that lasts for ages. Terrans arose from among the bands, war leaders who in antiquity had grown powerful enough to move other bands to swear fealty to them. There were many Terrans in the day before King Callan had, but he succeeded in whittling them down to only two. Gwaren in the south, High Ever in the north. These Terrans still hold the oaths of bands and Arls who they may call upon in the event of war or disaster, and similarly, the Terrans still hold responsibility for defending those sworn to them. The Arls were established by the Terrans, given command of strategic fortresses that could not be overseen by the Terrans themselves. Unlike the Terrans, the Arls have no bands sworn to them, and are simply somewhat more prestigious bands. The king is, in essence, the most powerful of the Terrans. Although Denerim was originally the Ternier of the king, it has since been reduced to an Arling, as the king's domain is now all of Ferelden, but even the king's power must come from the bands. Nowhere is this more evident than during the Landsmeet, an annual council for which all the nobles of Ferelden gather, held for almost 3,000 years, except odd interruptions during blights and invasions. The sight of a king asking for and working to win the support of lesser men is a source of constant wonder to foreign ambassadors. From Ferelden, Folklore and History by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scott.
This is where the nobility comes to get drunk and decide who is the most self-important of them all. Good times.
What can I get you, stranger?
Anyone need help? Maybe with something not entirely legal? He glances around for prying eyes, then produces a few notes on behalf of interested parties. Correspondence interruptus. R has a small request. It's always useful to have a big name in your pocket, and there's nothing better than snagging them with their knickers down. If in travels wide someone were to come across notes between illicit lovers, I have certain specialists who can make the most of those texts. Deliver to the bartender, and an investment toward future manipulation will be handsomely paid. D requires swift action. I have trouble. A few of my more excitable young associates got a little nervous during a couple of delicate handovers. Suffice to say, a little mess needs attention. Life is normally cheap, but if word of this gets out, there will be consequences. My men are under close watch, so I'd be most grateful for someone willing to take care of this. Coin is assured. K requests the following. Troubles of a new blood seem to find me. I've ruffled some feathers with my alternative tactics, and certain people have me blacklisted by my primary suppliers. So I put this out to those enterprising friends who want an ally and perhaps a little coin. 15 toxin extract samples will be more than enough to ensure I can continue building support. Simple, isn't it? Okay. So I believe that, yeah, this is for the reward when you actually get things done. Oh, no, I'm mistaken. Okay.
My shift's nearly over. Thank Andraste.
Alistair, what's this?
It's a sock?
It's a filthy sock. How did it find its way to my bedroll?
Maybe it likes you? Socks are sneaky like that. Anyway, it's not mine.
It has your name stitched on it.
Oh, part of Templar training back at the Chantry. The men were always getting their socks mixed up. Anyway, sorry about that. I'll take it from you right now. One of my socks is feeling a little damp anyway. A change would be nice.
You're going to put it on? It's filthy.
And dry. We're not exactly travelling in the lap of luxury here.
What hideous habits you've picked up.
Legend of Calenhad, Chapter 3. Calenhad's legend tells that Lady Shayna harbored love for her king that went beyond friendship, a love that had kept secret out of her sense of duty and honor. When offered a love potion by a witch in disguise, a witch who would later turn out to be the vengeance-seeking sister of Arl Simeon, Lady Shayna gave in to temptation. She used the potion on Calenhad, but Queen Meryn discovered the two of them together that night. Broken-hearted, fled Denerim to return to her father. She told Mirrodin everything, and he angrily threatened to revoke his support of Calenhad and begin anew the civil war. It's said that Lady Shayna felt remorseful at her manipulation of her best friend's heart and confessed her use of forbidden magic to the court. Although her life was forfeit, Calenhad forgave Lady Shayna for what she had done and refused to have her executed. Mirrodin furiously roused the other Arls against Calenhad and Lady Shayna, and it was not long before Ferelden stood on the brink of civil war once again. Against Calenhad's orders, Lady Shayna went alone to Meryn to plead for peace and plead her case, only to be found out by Mirrodin and slain. Angered but also saddened, Calenhad challenged Mirrodin to an honor duel, a fight neither of them wanted but both knew was necessary, and Mirrodin was slain. The death of the king's greatest ally, an important Arl, was too much for the young kingdom to bear. The other Arls would not back down on their claims against Calenhad. The threat of civil war rose once again. Calenhad went to his wife one last time then, although none knew what he said to her, and then he simply vanished. He left with Mirren a proclamation abdicating his throne in favor of the son his queen carried in her belly, who eventually ascended to the throne as King Wayland I. The king credited with establishing the Theron dynasty lasting to this day. Calenhad would never reappear. The legend of Calenhad himself only grew over time as stories and sightings multiplied, even long after the point where Calenhad could possibly still be alive. Some say he disappeared into the Korkari wilds, or went to live with the dwarves, or even became a monk in a reclusive Chantry order. Chantry named Calenhad one of the Anointed in 788 Storm. Calenhad's sword, Nemetos, was left with Meryn and became a symbol of Ferelden's kingship over the next century. Rumors of its magical powers grew, and when it was lost in the ambush that killed King Venedrin in 824 Blessed, it was seen as a great blow to the Theron line. Several false swords have appeared since that time, but never has the true sword resurfaced. From the Legend of Calenhad, by Brother Heron, Chantry Scribe, 810 Blessed. Rivain. Nowhere in my travels, not in the heart of the Imperium nor the streets of Orzammar, have I felt so much of an outsider as in Rivain. The chant of light never truly reached the ears of these people. The years they spent under the thumb of the Qunari left most of the country's zealous followers of the Qun, but resistance to the chant goes deeper than the Qunari War. The Rivaini refused to be part of their seers. The Rivaini refused to be parted from their seers. Wise women who are in fact hedge mages, communicating with spirits and actually allowing themselves to become possessed. Chantry prohibition against such magical practices violates millennia of local tradition. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar, by Brother Genetivi.
cleaning?
This is Lady Sophie's room.
Sophie doesn't deserve your loyalties, so look the other way.
You're right. She has this coming. Just be quick. I don't want someone else coming in on you.
Oh, I like that there's a tub. That's awesome. I don't know anything about Sophie right now, so, okay. Navarra. The fourth time I attempted to cross the border into Navarra from Orlais and was turned back by Chevalier, I decided to take the more roundabout path, a ship back to Ferelden, then another to Navarra. The outcome was more than worth the trouble. The whole country is filled with artistry, from the statues of heroes that litter the streets, and even the meanest village, to the glittering golden College of Magi in Cumberland. Perhaps nowhere is more astonishing than the vast necropolis outside Navarra city. Unlike most other followers of Andraste, the Navarrans do not burn their dead. Instead, they carefully preserve the bodies and seal them in elaborate tombs. Some of the wealthiest Navarrans began construction of their own tombs while quite young, and these become incredible palaces, complete with gardens, bathhouses, and ballrooms, utterly silent, kept only for the dead. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genetivi.
It is begun.
As I live and breathe, you're the Grey Warden everyone's been talking about.
Is there something I can do for you?
I represent the Blackstone Irregulars. We're a mercenary company that fell on hard times after the war with Orlais. I'm sure you know that times are getting worse every day. With your help, the Irregulars could be of use to Ferelden once more.
How can I be of service?
Our leaders thought you might be willing to help. Each of our posts in Ferelden will contain letters addressed to you. Unlike most who work with us, you're getting letters straight from Raelnor and Tauran, our leaders. I hope this tells you how highly the Irregulars regard the Grey Wardens.
I'll take a look.
Thank you. When you've completed a mission, just return to me or any of our members stationed at an Irregulars post. We'll make sure your efforts are rewarded. Maker's blessings light your path.
Letter from the Blackstone Irregulars. A letter written in careful script, addressed to you. To the inimitable Grey Warden, your deeds have spread since the tragedy of Ostagar, and I find myself in need of one such as you. I am Raelnor, captain of the venerable Blackstone Irregulars, and I hope to win your trust. The Irregulars have come on hard times since the war with Orlais, but I've fought to improve their reputation. Gone are the days of my father's shady deals with the unscrupulous nobles in Denerim. No, I have trained a guild filled with honorable men, ready to fight for Ferelden, and I'm proud to say I've seen your own Grey Wardens as a sort of model. We're not perfect. My own son advocates a move back to the more lucrative way my father ran the guild, but we are steadfast. It is in this context that I ask for your help, and I promise we will reward you accordingly. Should you be willing, please find letters in this box, and others like it, all over the land, and carry out the requests therein. For this matter, consider requests from my son as if they came from myself. And thank you again, from the bottom of my heart, whether you choose to assist us or not. You're doing the Maker's work, Warden, and I'm honored to work with you. Raelnor. This letter is marked with the seal of the Blackstone Irregulars. So, I am slightly ambivalent to this, quest line. Because it's pretty murky. But we'll go ahead. Notices of death. Warden, it's always a sad duty to report the deaths of those who have died in the service of the Guild. Today this duty falls to you, should you accept it. With this letter, you'll find the names of 4 women recently widowed, and letters giving condolences for the loss of their husbands. All 4 men were killed doing the work of the Irregulars, and we mourn the deaths of all who die in service to our ideals. Please handle this task with the discretion and care I'm confident you possess in spades. You must deliver these notes to the widows Irenia and Redcliffe, Laurana near Lake Calenhad, and Sarah and Tania and Denerim. Many thanks for this difficult task. Restocking the guild. My good people, we're facing work coming in from two fronts, and everyone must contribute. The irregulars are prepared to pay any man or woman who comes forth with a gift of 20 health poultices, no questions asked. If we work together, we can stock the irregulars for war. Realnor. Dereliction of duty. My friend, the irregulars require a trusted agent to track down and deal with deserters. Do this, and you will be rewarded. These deserters took with them valuable supplies crucial to the irregulars' future as a supplier of martial services. Deal with these wastes of space as you see fit, and bring the supplies back as proof that the problem has been dealt with. We will ask no questions as to your methods and the final condition of the deserters. Use your own discretion. You will likely find them in the following locations: Samael in Lake Calenhad, Leysen in Denerim, Tornus in the Frostback Mountains. Your friend, Torin. My friend, I have a task that requires some tact and discretion, and I think you're perfect for the job. The Blackstone Irregulars cannot survive without the patronage of the nobles, mages, and other groups who retain our services. For that work to continue, however, we have to ensure that people are looking out for our interests. To that end, I ask you make a trip to Denerim and pass on our appreciation to certain individuals. Return when you are done, and I'll see that you are rewarded. Okay, so Crimson Aura's leader, we were asked to clear them out without any death.
I'm a Crimson Ore! Which way you looking, or we'll rip your damned eyes out and piss in your skull! Another round for me men!
Drink to battle and victory! Next drink to battle and victory!
Pigs, all of them.
Now we drink more!
What?
I'm a Crimson Ore! Which way you looking, or we'll rip your damned eyes out and piss in your skull! Another round for me men!
Oh no, I'm in the Nod Noble, not the Pearl. I need to go to the Pearl. Yeah, you know, there's just like the solving problems is like a really weird thing. You find a body bag and you slip it into a well.
All men are the work of our Maker's hand, from the lowest slave to the highest.
Oh, okay, yeah, there's the body bag. Alright.
Without provocation.
Some of these are just like really weird.
He came at me! It's not my fault! Why'd he come at me? Yeah, they got to learn not to mess with me. Us, right? I mean, he's just going to disappear, right?
Okay. So, of course, we lug the body bag across town and drop it in the well.
Very well.
This is as good a spot as any to dump a corpse. Just another bag of garbage flowing out of the city. Dump the bag into a well. I mean, come on.
All men are the work of our Maker's hand, from the lowest.
Yes?
Would someone like to handle this for me?
I hope you like heroes, my lady, because your husband died like one.
What? This is terrible. My beloved.
Okay, as Denerim is the land of exposition, we've spent quite a bit of time just reading books and such, so I think I will head back. There's a lot, well, there's a bit more to do in Denerim. There's several sections to it. So we'll head back to camp, talk to people a bit more, and I will take Sten out for his encounter. Okay, there you see. So there's the run-down back streets, dark alleys, and here is the Pearl. So we've essentially managed the market district, and next time we'll manage these 4 areas. 3 we can't get to because... Yeah, well, because. Alright. Okay, that's the local map. Go to the wide open world. So now some of these quests that we picked up are available as locations to head to. So now you do see Lothering has a skull and crossbones. We can no longer go there. Now the village of Haven is opened up because we found the location of it. We can still go to Flemeth's hut. So we're just going to head back to camp. And I do need to trigger some loyalty.
I have been studying Mother's grimoire. Do you wish to hear what I have found?
What did you find?
'Tis not what I expected. I had hoped for a collection of her spells, a map of the power that she commands. But this is not it.
Yet you look disturbed.
Disturbed? Yes, perhaps that is the right word. One thing in particular within her writings disturbs me. Here, in great detail, Flemeth explains the means by which she has survived for centuries.
Spell of immortality?
Oh, if only 'twere so. Flemeth has raised many daughters over her long lifetime. There are stories of these many witches of the wilds throughout chastened legend, yet I have never seen a one, and always wondered why not. And now I know. They are all Flemeth. When her body becomes old and wizened, she raises a daughter, and when the time is right, she takes her daughter's body for her own.
Are you certain about this?
Indeed. That is primarily what this tome details, the various daughters that Flemeth has acquired, their preparation and training. I recognize all of it. I am to be her next host. This is my purpose.
So why would she risk sending you with me?
I do not know. Perhaps 'tis as she said, the Darkspawn threaten her as much as they threaten anyone else, or perhaps she believes that this journey will make me more powerful. According to the tome, if the host is already powerful and trained in magic, it takes far less time for Flemeth to settle in.
So what do you intend to do about it?
There is only one possible response to this. Flemeth needs to die. I will not sit about like an empty sack waiting to be filled. Flemeth must be slain, and I need your help to do it.
Very well, I'll help you if I can.
Then what needs to be done is for you to go back to Flemeth's hut in the Kakari Wilds without me. If I am present when she is slain, I cannot be certain that she will not be able to possess my body right then, so I must remain at the camp. Confront her and slay her quickly. I doubt she will truly be dead even then, but it will take her years to find a new host and recover her power, if that is even possible. The thing I must have is her true grimoire. With it, I can defend against her power in the future. Everything else in her hut is yours.
I'll see what I can do.
I am grateful. The sooner this can be done, the sooner it will set my mind at ease.
Okay. So we'll save here, and we will get back to some more maintenance and exposition and clearing out Denerim next. Thanks for joining me.